All right, let's talk about AI news. If you're trying to keep up with it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It feels like you're trying to drink from a fire hose, right? There are new models, new debates, new breakthroughs literally every single day. So how in the world do you separate what actually matters from all the noise? Well, today we're going to build a strategy to do just that.
I mean, does your feed just feel like an endless scroll of AI hype? You've got technical papers you definitely don't have time to read, hot takes that completely contradict each other. Sound familiar? If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are not alone. The sheer volume of information is it's overwhelming. And it's a real challenge to stay informed without getting totally burned out.
You know, there's actually a name for this feeling. It's called the AI infodemic. It's this state of information overload that gets so intense, it becomes almost impossible to figure out what's a real insight versus what's just hype. But hey, recognizing the problem is always the first step, and today we are going to map out a super clear strategy to get past it.
So the solution isn't to just try to consume more news faster. That's a losing battle. The trick is to get smarter about what you consume. We're going to shift from being, these passive victims of a chaotic newsfeed to becoming active curators of our own personal AI briefing. It's all about building a focused, insightful, let's call it an information diet. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to lay the foundation with big picture tech news. Then, we'll do a deep dive with some AI specialists. After that, I'm going to show you a pro tool that ties it all together. And finally, we'll look at exactly how to craft your perfect, personalized briefing. Ready?
Okay, part one. Let's build our foundation. See, to really get what's happening in AI, you can't just look at the code or the latest model. You have to see the bigger picture. AI doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? It's part of this much, much larger technology ecosystem, and that context is absolutely crucial. So where do you get this context? Think of these sites as your starting lineup. Publications like The Verge, TechCrunch, and Wired, they're fantastic because they cover the entire tech landscape. This gives you the why behind the AI what. For example, when a new AI model gets announced, knowing the latest on chip manufacturing from these sites helps you actually understand its performance limits and its real potential. It's that kind of context that turns a piece of news into a real insight.
And this quote just nails it. Diving straight into academic AI papers without understanding the market forces, the companies involved, and the broader tech trends, it's like trying to understand a single tree without ever having seen the forest. This foundation is what keeps you grounded.
All right, once you have that solid foundation, it's time for the deep dive. This is where we move past the general headlines and into the sources that live and breathe artificial intelligence every single day.
And what's really great here is that you can see AI news isn't just one big thing. It's really diverse. Your best source totally depends on your goal. So if you're a big picture thinker focused on ethics and society, MIT Technology Review is for you. But if you're a developer who needs to get your hands dirty, you're probably better off with Towards Data Science. It's all about finding the lane that really matches your interests. And for the most direct insights, why not go straight to the source? The blogs from the big labs like OpenAI and Google AI are where the breakthroughs are literally announced first. And for that practical, community-driven knowledge, platforms like Analytics are amazing. They've got tutorials and articles from people who are actually in the trenches, working in the field every day.
Okay, so you've got your foundation and you've got your deep dive sources, but how do you keep up with all of this without spending your entire day just reading? Well, this brings us to the Pro Tool. This is the ultimate hack for staying current efficiently.
I wanted you to meet TechMeme. If you're not familiar with it, think of it as your secret weapon. For so many people in the tech industry, it's the very first site they open in the morning. And it's not just another news site. It acts more like a personal intelligence analyst, telling you what's important right now.
So what's the secret sauce here? Well, it's this really powerful hybrid approach. First, you've got automated systems that are scanning basically every relevant tech site and blog on the planet. But then, and this is the most important part, real human editors step in. They pick out the most important stories, they group them together, and they write fresh headlines that give you the main idea instantly. The result? A single, perfectly curated page of what matters? And that's its whole mission, right there in that quote. It's designed from the ground up to save you time and deliver clarity. Instead of you having to hunt through dozens of sites, TechMeme brings the essential conversation directly to you, all on one simple page. It is an incredible tool for efficiency. So now we have all the pieces of the puzzle. We have the broad context, we have the deep expertise, and we have the powerful aggregator. So let's put it all together and actually craft your personal briefing strategy. Look, here is the entire strategy in a nutshell. It's a simple three-step process. Start broad with maybe one or two general tech sites to get your bearings. Then go deep with one or two specialist publications that actually match your specific interests in AI. And then you use an aggregator like TechMeme daily to stay current on the biggest headlines. That's it. It's that simple.
And the difference this makes is, well, it's night and day. You move from that passive, overwhelming feed that's just full of noise to an active, focused briefing that's packed with real insight. You stop being reactionary to whatever the algorithm feels like throwing at you, and you start being strategic about what you consume. You take back control.
At the end of the day, building a better information diet is a choice. You now have the framework and you have the tools to cut through all that noise. So the only question left is, what will your essential AI briefing look like?